Chapter 14 Sources of Energy, presented by E-Biology class, Fatima Convent High School. Let us complete the topic Ocean Thermal Energy. The ocean thermal energy, the water at the surface of the sea or ocean is heated by the sun while the water in the deeper section is relatively cold. And this difference in the temperature is made use of in this technique. So this temperature is exploited to obtain energy in ocean thermal energy conservation plant. These plants can operate if the temperature difference between the water at the surface and water at the depth up to 2 kilometers is 20 K or 20 degrees Celsius or more. The warm surface water is used to boil a volatile liquid like ammonia, and the vapor of this ammonia are then used to run the turbine of the generator. The cold water from the depth of the ocean is pumped up and condensed vapor again to liquid, and this cycle goes on and the turbine keeps on moving. The energy potential from the sea, tidal energy, wave energy, and ocean thermal energy is quite large, but efficient commercial exploitation is difficult. So, this technology has limitations again. Geothermal energy. Due to geological changes, molten rocks formed at the deeper hot region of the Earth's crust are pushed upwards and trapped in certain region called hot spots. Now, when underground water comes in contact with hot spot, steam is generated. Sometimes hot water from these regions find outlets at the surface. Such outlets are known as hot springs. You must have seen or visited many hot springs. The steam trapped in the rock is routed through a pipe to a turbine and used to generate electricity. The cost of production would not be much, but there are very few commercially viable sites where such energy can be exploited. So there are a number of power plants based on geothermal energy operated in New Zealand and United States of America, because there are many places where you have the hot water springs. Now let us see the nuclear energy. How is nuclear energy generated? In a process called nuclear fission, means breaking of bigger atoms or heavy atoms such as uranium, plutonium or thorium, when bombarded with low energy neutron, can be splitted apart into higher nuclei. When this is done, a tremendous amount of energy is released. And if the mass of origin nuclei is just a little more than the sum of the masses of individual product, the fission of an atom of uranium, for example, produces 10 million times the energy produced by the combustion of an atom of carbon from coal. So you can see how large the amount of energy is released from the nuclear energy. In a nuclear reactor designed for electric power generation, such nuclear fuel can be part of self-sustaining fission chain reaction that releases energy at a controlled rate. The released energy can be used to produce steam and further generate electricity. So the nuclear fission, which liberates large amount of energy, is used as a source of energy, and nowadays large power stations have been constructed using nuclear power plants. In a nuclear fission, the difference in mass delta M between the original nucleus and the product nuclei gets converted to energy E at a rate governed by famous equation E is equal to delta mc square, first derived by Albert Einstein in 1905. where c is the speed of light in vacuum. In nuclear science, energy is often expressed in units of electron volt eV is to 1 eV is equal to 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. It is easy to check from the above equation that one atomic mass unit U is equivalent to about 931 mega electron volt MeV of energy. We don't need to study this in much detail, but it is just a calculation which tells us how tremendous amount of energy can be produced by just breaking of one atom. The nuclear power reactors located at Tarapur, Maharashtra, Rana Pratap Sagar, Rajasthan, Kalpakam, Tamil Nadu, Narora, UP, Kakrapar, Gujarat, and Kaiga in Karnataka have the installed capacity of less than 3% of total electric generation capacity of our country. However, many industrial countries are meeting more than 30% of their electrical power needs from nuclear reactor. So it's a very high source of energy. The major hazards of nuclear power generation is the storage and disposal of spent or used fuels. Uranium still decaying into harmful subatomic particles radiations. Improper nuclear waste storage and disposal results in environmental contamination which could be very hazardous. Further, there is a risk of accidental leakage of nuclear radiation. The high cost of installation of the nuclear power plant, high risk of environmental contamination, and limited availability of uranium makes large scale use of nuclear energy prohibitive. So these are the limitations which stops us from using this huge source of energy. The nuclear energy was first used for destructive purpose before nuclear power stations were designed. We all are very much familiar with the atomic bomb which was used in the Second World War. The fundamental physics of fission chain reaction in a nuclear weapon is similar to the physics of controlled nuclear reactor, but the two types of device are engineered quite differently. There is one more type of energy source which can be obtained from nucleus, that is nuclear fusion. Currently, all commercial nuclear reactors are based on nuclear fission. But there is another possibility of nuclear energy generated by a safer process called nuclear fusion. Fusion means joining lighter nuclei to make a heavier nucleus, most commonly hydrogen or hydrogen isotope to create helium, such as 2H plus 2H gives 3H plus 1 neutron, which is a tremendous amount of energy. It releases a tremendous amount of energy according to Einstein equation, as the mass of the product is little less than the sum of the masses of the original individual nuclei. Such nuclear fusion reactions are the source of energy in sun and other stars. It takes considerable energy to force the nuclei to fuse. The conditions needed for this process are extreme millions of degree of temperature and millions of pascal of pressure. So this is not a feasible method which can be used. The hydrogen bomb is used as a thermonuclear fusion reaction. A nuclear bomb based on fusion of uranium and plutonium is placed at the core of the hydrogen bomb. This nuclear bomb is embedded in a substance which contains deuterium and lithium. When the nuclear bomb based on fission is detonated, the temperature of this substance is raised to 10 raised to 7 K in a few microseconds. The high temperature generates sufficient energy for the light nuclei to fuse and devastating amount of energy is released. So we know the destructive use of it. Now let us see the environmental consequences of all these energy sources. We have studied various sources of energy in previous section. Exploiting any source of energy disturbs the environment in some way or the other. In any given situation, the source we would choose depend on the factor such as the case or ease of extracting energy from the source, the economic extraction of energy from the source, the efficiency of the technology available, and the environmental damage that could be caused by using the source. Though we talk of clean fuel like CNG, it would be more exact to say that a particular source is cleaner than the other. So the advantages and the disadvantages causes limitations to various factors of utility of these energy sources. We have already seen that burning of fuel causes air pollution. In some cases, actual operation of the device like solar cell may be pollution free, but assembling of device would have caused some environmental damage. Research continues in these areas to produce longer lasting devices that will cause less damage throughout their life. So, these are the consequences which could limit us from using this energy. How long will an energy source last for us? We saw earlier that we cannot depend on the fossil fuel for much longer. Such sources which we get depleted someday are said to be exhaustible sources of energy or non-renewable sources of energy. On the other hand, if many biomass manage biomass by replacing trees we cut from the forest wood, we can be assured of constant supply of energy at a particular rate. Such energy sources that can be regenerated are called renewable sources of energy. And renewable sources is available in our natural environment in the form of some continuous or repetitive current of energy or is stored in large underground reservoirs at the rate of depletion of reservoirs because of extraction of usable energy is practically negligible. So we can keep on using this energy for a longer period of time. You will be able to answer the textual exercise after understanding this chapter. Thank you.